My husband dismissed my promotion at the dinner, celebrating it. We were at Marcello's, the upscale Italian restaurant downtown that I had chosen specifically for this occasion. 12 people around the table, my closest friends, his closest friends, family members who had flown in to celebrate what I considered the biggest achievement of my career. Senior Vice President of Operations at Hartwell Industries, a position I had spent 7 years working toward, 60-hour weeks, missed holidays, weekends spent on conference calls with international teams, sacrifices that had cost me sleep, friendships, and sometimes my sanity. And when Marcus's college friend Brad asked how I had landed such an impressive role, my husband laughed and said, "Yeah, she got lucky. Right place, right time." The table went quiet for a moment. A few people chuckled awkwardly. My best friend Destiny caught my eye with a look that asked, "Did he really just say that?" I smiled, took a sip of wine, changed the subject. "The risotto here is incredible. Has everyone ordered?" The moment passed. The conversation moved on. The dinner continued as if nothing had happened, but something had happened. My husband had just reduced 7 years of my work to luck, and I would remember that. My name is Vivian Okafor Morrison. I am 38 years old. I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the daughter of Nigerian immigrants who built a successful chain of pharmacies from nothing. My parents taught me many things about success, about working harder than everyone else, about letting results speak for themselves. They also taught me about patience, about waiting for the right moment to teach someone a lesson they would never forget. Marcus had just earned himself a lesson. I just didn't know yet when I would deliver it. The weeks after the promotion dinner were revealing. I started paying attention to patterns I had previously ignored, the way Marcus talked about my career versus his own, the way he described his work as demanding and strategic while calling mine busy and administrative, the way he took credit for our lifestyle while minimizing my contribution to it. "We're lucky I got that bonus last year," he said once over dinner. "Otherwise, we couldn't have afforded the new car." The new car he was referring to had been paid for with my promotion bonus, a fact he seemed to have conveniently forgotten. "Your salary really helped when we were starting out," he told his mother on the phone. "But now that I'm more established, Vivian can relax a bit." Relax a bit. As if I wasn't the one working 60-hour weeks while he left the office at 5:30 every day. I documented these comments, not officially, just mentally, building a case in my head, understanding the pattern. Marcus believed that his success was earned and mine was given. His achievements were the result of talent and hard work. Mine were luck. Right place, right time. The irony was that I out-earned him by $45,000 a year, a fact he never mentioned to his friends or his family, a fact I was beginning to think he had never fully accepted. The universe has a sense of timing that borders on poetic. 3 months after my promotion dinner, almost to the day, Marcus came home with a look on his face I had never seen before. I got laid off. I set down the report I was reviewing. What happened? Restructuring. They eliminated my entire department. 20 people, gone, just like that. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. 15 years at that company. 15 years of giving them everything. And they just cut me loose. He sat down heavily on the couch, looking lost. What am I going to do? You'll find something. You have experience, connections. It'll be okay. But in the meantime, we'll be okay financially, right? Your salary can cover things until I land something new? I looked at my husband, at the man who had told a table full of people that my promotion was luck. "Of course," I said. "Family supports family. I'll cover everything. Take whatever time you need." He looked relieved, grateful even. "Thank you, Viv. I knew I could count on you. Always." I went back to my report, and I started a mental countdown. The first month, I was genuinely supportive. I covered all the bills without complaint. I didn't mention money or pressure him about his job search. I cooked his favorite meals and gave him space to process his emotions. Marcus needed time to recover from the shock. I understood that. He spent the first 2 weeks on the couch watching TV, processing his grief. He said he needed to decompress before he could think about next steps. "It's like a death," he explained, "the death of my career identity. I need to mourn." I nodded sympathetically and went to work my 60-hour week. The second month, I started observing more carefully. Marcus's mourning period had extended indefinitely. He wasn't looking for jobs. He wasn't updating his resume. He wasn't reaching out to his network. He was sleeping until 10 a.m., watching sports until 3 p.m., and playing video games until dinner. "How's the job search going?" I asked one evening. "I'm working on it. These things take time." "Have you reached out to any recruiters?" "Not yet. I want to figure out what I really want before I start applying." "And what do you want?" "I don't know. Something that appreciates me. Something where I'm not just a number." He went back to his video game. I went back to my 60-hour week. The third month, the pattern was undeniable. Marcus had fully embraced unemployment. He had developed routines: morning coffee, afternoon naps, evening gaming sessions. He had opinions about daytime television and the best times to go to the gym, mid-morning when it was empty. He had not applied for a single job. "I'm networking," he said when I asked about his progress. "These things happen organically. You can't force it." "Have you had any networking meetings?" "Not formal ones, but I've been keeping in touch with people." "Which people?" "Just people. Colleagues. Friends." He couldn't name a single person he had contacted about job opportunities. Meanwhile, I was working 60-hour weeks, covering our mortgage, paying our bills, maintaining our lifestyle while my husband contemplated what he really wanted. The 3-month mark arrived on a Tuesday. I came home from work at 8 p.m., exhausted from a day of back-to-back meetings and crisis management. Marcus was on the couch, controller in hand, exactly where I had left him that morning. "Hey babe, long day?" "Very long. What did you do today?" "Not much. Applied for a few things online." "Oh? Which positions?" "Just a few things. Nothing specific yet." I set down my bag and sat across from him. "Marcus, I need to talk to you about something." He paused his game, looking mildly annoyed at the interruption. "What's up?" "It's been 3 months since you lost your job." "I know. Time flies, right?" "In those 3 months, I've covered every bill we have. The mortgage, the cars, the insurance, the utilities, the groceries, everything. And I appreciate that. I really do. I've also worked an average of 60 hours a week, while you've been home, figuring things out. It takes time to find the right opportunity. You haven't been looking for any opportunity. You've been sleeping late, playing video games, and waiting for something to fall in your lap." His face hardened. "That's not fair. I've been networking. You haven't been networking. You've been avoiding. There's a difference." I reached into my bag and pulled out a folder I had prepared. "What's that?" "Job listings. 47 positions that match your experience and qualifications. I compiled them this morning." He stared at the folder like it was a snake. "You compiled job listings for me?" "Someone had to. You clearly weren't going to do it yourself." "This is humiliating. What's humiliating is watching my husband sit on the couch for 3 months while I work 60-hour weeks to support us both." I slid the folder across the coffee table. "You have 1 month. Pick something from this list or find something on your own. But the free ride is over." "Free ride? I'm your husband. And I'm your wife. The one you told everyone got lucky with her promotion. Right place, right time, remember?" He went pale. "That was just, I didn't mean—" "You meant every word. You've always believed your career was about talent and hard work, while mine was about luck. Well, here's your chance to prove it." I tapped the folder. "Right place, right time. Good luck." His mouth opened and closed several times. "You can't be serious." "I'm completely serious. 3 months is generous. I've supported you while you processed your feelings. Now it's time to act like an adult and find a job." "What happens if I don't find something in a month?" "Then we'll have a different conversation, one you won't enjoy." I stood up and headed for the shower. "Vivian, wait." "I'm tired, Marcus. I've been working 60-hour weeks to carry us both. You can start carrying yourself." I closed the bathroom door and let the water drown out whatever he said next. The next morning, something had changed. Marcus was awake before me. He was at the kitchen table, laptop open, the folder of job listings beside him. "I made coffee," he said quietly. "Thank you." I looked through the listings. "There are some good ones here." "I know. That's why I compiled them." He was quiet for a moment. "I've been an ass, haven't I?" "Yes. The promotion dinner. What I said about luck. I didn't realize. You didn't realize what? How much it hurt you. How hard you've worked. I think I was jealous, maybe. Your career was taking off while mine was stagnating. It was easier to believe you got lucky than to admit you were just better at this than me. I sat down across from him. And the last 3 months? I was scared. Losing my job felt like proof that I wasn't as good as I thought I was. It was easier to hide from that than to face it. So you let me work 60-hour weeks while you hid on the couch. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. Actions are enough. He nodded. I know. I'm going to start applying today. Really applying. And I'm going to figure out how to be the kind of partner you deserve. That would be a good start. I love you, Viv. I know I haven't shown it well, but I do. I looked at my husband, at the man who had diminished my success and then expected me to carry him when his own failed. I love you too, but I need you to understand something. What? Luck didn't get me where I am. Work did. Sacrifice did. 60-hour weeks and missed holidays and years of proving myself over and over again. I know. I don't think you do. I think you've never really understood what I do or how hard I work. You've just seen the results and assumed they came easily. That's not true. You told a table full of people that I got lucky. At my own promotion dinner, you reduced everything I've accomplished to being in the right place at the right time. He winced. I was wrong. I know that now. Do you? Because if you still believe my success is about luck while yours is about talent, this marriage isn't going to work. I don't believe that. I never really believed that. I was just threatened by how well you were doing. It was easier to minimize it than to celebrate it. That's honest, at least. I'm trying to be honest. You deserve that much. I finished my coffee and stood up. I have to go to work. My 60-hour week awaits. Viv, apply for those jobs today. Real applications. I want to see confirmation emails when I get home. You'll see them. I promise. I grabbed my bag and headed for the door. One more thing. What? When you do land something, and you will, because you're actually talented despite what your insecurity tells you, I expect you to remember this. Remember what it felt like to be dismissed. Remember what it felt like to have your worth questioned. I will. And maybe, when it's time to celebrate my next achievement, you'll find better words than right place, right time. I walked out the door. Behind me, I heard the clicking of laptop keys as Marcus finally started his job search. It took him 7 weeks to find something, not because he was unlucky, because he was qualified and he finally put in the work. The new job was actually better than his old one. Higher salary, better title, more growth potential. He called me from the parking lot after his final interview, voice shaking with excitement. I got it, VP of Strategic Partnerships. They want me to start in 2 weeks. That's incredible. Congratulations. I couldn't have done it without you, pushing me, making me see what I was doing wrong. You did the work. I just reminded you that work was necessary. Still, thank you. You're welcome. Now come home and celebrate properly. I'll make reservations somewhere nice. The celebration dinner was at the same restaurant as my promotion dinner, Marcello's. The same table, some of the same people. When Brad asked Marcus how he'd landed such an impressive role, Marcus looked at me and smiled. It wasn't luck. It was months of hard work and a wife who believed in me enough to push me when I needed it. Vivian's the reason I'm here. I raised my glass. To hard work and to partners who see each other clearly. To seeing clearly, Marcus agreed. The table toasted, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like my husband actually understood who I was. My mother visited a month later. She walked through our home, observed Marcus making dinner while I relaxed with a glass of wine, a reversal of our usual roles, and nodded approvingly. Something's changed. He's changed, or maybe he's just finally seeing things clearly. What happened? I told her the story. The promotion dinner, the job loss, the 3 months, the folder of job listings, the ultimatum. When I finished, she was smiling. You handled that perfectly. I almost handled it differently, almost kept supporting him indefinitely, waiting for him to figure it out on his own. Why didn't you? Because he called my success luck, And I realized that as long as he believed that, he would never respect what I do. He would never understand the sacrifices I've made. He would always see himself as the talented one and me as the lucky one. So you showed him what it meant to work. I showed him what it meant to not work and what it felt like to have someone else carry you while you contributed nothing. My mother laughed. Your father did something similar when we were young. Thought his job was harder than mine because he worked outside the home. Thought I had it easy because I just raised the children and managed the household. What did you do? I went on a 2-week vacation, left him alone with 3 kids and a house to manage. When I came back, he never questioned my workload again. So this is a family tradition? Teaching men to see clearly? Yes, baby, it's a tradition worth maintaining. She hugged me. I'm proud of you. Not because you taught him a lesson, but because you valued yourself enough to demand what you deserved. I almost didn't. I almost let it go. But you didn't. You remembered your worth. That's what matters. If this story resonates with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and whether you've ever had to teach someone what your work actually meant. Like and subscribe for more stories about recognition, value, and the power of demanding what you deserve. Yeah, she got lucky. Right place, right time. My husband said it at my promotion dinner. I'd worked 60-hour weeks for 7 years to earn that role. I didn't correct him. 3 months later, he lost his job. Asked me to support him while he figured things out. I did. For exactly 3 months. Then I handed him the job listings and said, right place, right time. Good luck. He finally understood that luck has nothing to do with it. Work does.